Imagine this. You just got your first real paycheck. Maybe it's $3,000, maybe it's $5,000, maybe even $10,000. And the first thing that pops into your head isn't, how do I invest this? No. The first thing you think about is, who's going to see me spend this? You start scrolling through Instagram. You see someone your age in a brand new BMW. You see another guy flexing a Rolex at a rooftop restaurant. You see a girl your age posting stories from a first-class seat on her way to the Maldives. And suddenly, without even realizing it, your brain starts doing the math. Not on your investments, not on your savings rate, not on your financial future, but on how fast you can look like them. So you go buy the watch, you lease the car, you upgrade your apartment, you book the trip, you post the pictures, and for about 72 hours you feel incredible. You feel like you made it. You feel seen. You feel validated. Then the month ends, and you're broke again. Back to square one, except now you have a lease payment, a credit card bill, and a faint anxiety that follows you everywhere you go. Here's what nobody told you. The people you were trying to impress? Most of them are broke too. Leveraged to the eyeballs, performing wealth for their own audience. And the people who are actually quietly building real wealth? You've never heard of them. You don't follow them on Instagram. You've never seen their car. Because they don't look rich. They look like everybody else. They look honestly kind of boring. And that right there is the most powerful wealth secret that almost nobody in the personal finance space talks about seriously. Today, we're going to break it down completely with psychology, with math, with real strategies you can apply starting today. I'm Max, and this might genuinely be the most important video about money you watch this year. Let's get into it. The wealth illusion that's keeping you broke. Let me ask you something honest. When you picture a rich person in your mind, what do you see? Take a second. I'm serious. What image shows up? A big house with a pool, a luxury car, probably German or Italian, designer clothes, a visible logo somewhere, expensive vacations posted on social media, bottle service at a club, first-class flights, a Rolex. That image in your head, where did it come from? It didn't come from reality. It came from movies, from social media, from advertisements, from music videos, from television shows built around aspirational fantasy. Basically, everywhere you look, wealth has been carefully packaged and sold to you as a visual experience, a performance, a costume. And that packaging has been deliberately, intentionally, expensively designed to make you want to perform wealth before you've actually built it. Because when you perform wealth, you spend money, and when you spend money, someone else profits. The luxury brand profits. The car dealership profits. The bank issuing your credit card profits. Everyone profits except you. This is what I call the wealth illusion. The idea that looking rich and being rich are the same thing. They are not. In fact, for most people, for most households in most cities across the world, they are the exact opposite. The people who look the richest are often the most financially fragile, and the people who look the most ordinary are often sitting on assets that would shock you. Think about it with brutal clarity. Every dollar you spend on appearing wealthy is a dollar you didn't put into an asset. It's not in the stock market. It's not in real estate. It's not earning compound interest. It's not building cash flow. It's sitting on your wrist, depreciating to near zero. It's parked in your driveway, losing 15% of its value every single year. It's hanging in your closet, completely illiquid, doing absolutely nothing for your financial future. Morgan Housel, in his brilliant book, The Psychology of Money, makes a point that genuinely rattled me when I first came across it. He writes that when you see someone in a beautiful car, you don't actually think about the driver and admire them. You imagine yourself in that car. You think about how people would look at you. The driver is essentially invisible. You're using their purchase as a canvas for your own status fantasy, which means nobody is actually being impressed by your luxury purchases the way you imagine they are. They're just using your stuff as a mirror for their own desires. You are invisible to them. You're spending thousands to be invisible. So you are going broke trying to impress people who aren't even thinking about you. Let that settle. What the actually wealthy actually do. Let me describe a person to you. This person wakes up, gets into a 7-year-old Toyota Camry, drives to a regular grocery store, comes home to a 3-bedroom house in a normal neighborhood, and spends their evening reading about index funds. Their clothes are clean, simple, and cost nothing impressive. Their phone is 2 generations old. Their watch costs $80. From the outside, this person looks completely average. You would never give them a second glance. You'd assume they're just another working person making their way through life. This person has a net worth of $3.8 million, and this is not a fantasy. This is statistically one of the most common profiles of actual millionaires in the United States. Thomas Stanley spent decades researching the actual behavior of actual millionaires, and his findings in The Millionaire Next Door demolished every cultural assumption we have about wealth. The overwhelming majority of millionaires in America don't live in gated communities. They don't drive luxury cars. They wear ordinary clothes, eat at ordinary restaurants, and live in ordinary neighborhoods. They are invisible. But here's what makes this so powerful. They don't just happen to live modestly. Many of them actively choose to look poor, not because they can't afford otherwise, but because they understand at a deep level that your lifestyle is either your greatest wealth-building asset or your greatest wealth-destroying liability. There is genuinely no middle ground. When your lifestyle is modest relative to your income, the gap between what you earn and what you spend, what Stanley called the wealth accumulation surplus, gets deployed into assets every single month. Those assets compound, slowly at first, almost imperceptibly, then faster, then over time explosively. This is how actual wealth is built, not through one big moment, not through a viral investment, not through luck, through thousands of small, boring, invisible decisions that nobody ever congratulates you for, through the patient, consistent, unsexy accumulation of assets over years and decades. The psychology behind the status trap. Now we need to talk about why this is so hard. Because if the math is obvious, if the strategy is clear, why do so few people actually follow it? Why do intelligent, educated people still blow their income on status signals they can't afford? Because we are evolutionarily wired for status competition. This is not a character flaw. This is neuroscience. Human beings spent hundreds of thousands of years living in small social groups where status was a matter of literal survival. High-status individuals got better food, more protection, more access to resources, better reproductive opportunities. Your brain learned, deeply below the level of conscious thought, that status signals matter, that falling behind in the status hierarchy is dangerous, that you must display your value to others or face social exclusion. Your brain cannot easily distinguish between earned status and performed status. It just reads the signals. And modern consumer culture has become extraordinarily sophisticated at manufacturing status signals that trigger exactly this ancient wiring. Every luxury brand, every aspirational advertisement, every influencer post is essentially a piece of neuroscience-based marketing designed to activate the status anxiety in your brain and redirect it toward a purchasing decision. The Rolex isn't selling you a watch. It's selling you a temporary neurological relief from status anxiety. The BMW isn't selling you transportation. It's selling you the dopamine hit of imagined social elevation. And it works. It works brilliantly. Because the relief is real, even if it's fleeting. Even if it leaves you worse off financially. Even if it solves nothing. Stealth wealth is the conscious, deliberate decision to opt out of this game entirely. To recognize the manipulation for what it is. To redirect your status hunger toward metrics that actually serve you. Net worth, passive income, investment rate, time freedom. These become your status symbols, and because they're invisible to most people, you become completely immune to the social arms race that keeps the majority of people perpetually broke. The math that will genuinely change your perspective. I want to give you numbers, real numbers, because this is where the philosophy becomes undeniable. The average American spends approximately $700 per month on what we might call lifestyle inflation. spending that goes beyond genuine needs. This includes restaurant upgrades when a home-cooked meal would do, clothing purchases driven by trend chasing rather than necessity, subscriptions they've forgotten they have, car payments on vehicles that cost 3 times more than something reliable and paid off would, and dozens of small luxury signals designed to communicate status to the world. $700 a month? What if you redirected every dollar of that into a basic S&P 500 index fund, averaging 10% annual return, which is historically consistent over long periods? After 10 years, you'd have roughly $143,000. After 20 years, you'd be looking at over $530,000. After 30 years, 3 decades of looking ordinary, you'd have accumulated approximately $1.58 million from $700 a month, from choosing not to perform wealth. Now consider this. Once most people internalize this philosophy deeply, they don't stop at $700. They start finding $1,200 a month, then $2,000. They optimize housing, transportation, food, entertainment. They build what is essentially a wealth generation machine running silently in the background of what appears to the outside world to be a completely normal, unimpressive life. And that machine, over time, produces genuine, life-changing financial freedom. Meanwhile, their colleague who leased the Audi and moved into the bigger apartment because they deserved it is still living paycheck to paycheck at 45, wondering why wealth always feels just out of reach. The social friction is real. Here's how to handle it. I have to be honest with you about something. Choosing to look poor when you have money or when your income rises comes with real, tangible, sometimes painful social friction. And most personal finance content glosses over this completely. People will underestimate you. They will make assumptions about your success based on your car, your clothes, your apartment. In some professional environments, your modest presentation will actually cost you respect from people whose respect you'd rather not have anyway, but it still stings. Some of your friends will quietly wonder why you never leveled up your lifestyle. Family members might pressure you to treat yourself, to enjoy what you've earned, to stop being so serious about money. And here is the hardest part. Your own inner voice will do the same. Because you have been marinated since childhood in a culture that equates consumption with success. That voice telling you that you deserve the upgrade. That voice has a $300 billion advertising industry behind it. It is not your authentic self. It is conditioning. What I want you to hold on to whenever that friction comes is this. You are not depriving yourself. You are investing in your future freedom. Every time you choose not to signal status through spending, you are making a deposit into the account that will eventually allow you to do whatever you want, whenever you want, for the rest of your life. That is not sacrifice. That is the highest form of self-respect. That is playing the game at a level most people never reach. Practical strategies. What this looks like in real life. Let's make this concrete and tactical, because philosophy without application is just entertainment. Drive a boring, reliable, paid-off car. The vehicle decision is where more wealth is destroyed than almost anywhere else in middle-class financial life. A simple rule: your total vehicle costs, payment, insurance, fuel, maintenance should not exceed 15% of your monthly take-home pay. Better yet, buy a reliable used car with cash and drive it into the ground. The difference in lifetime wealth between someone who always has a car payment and someone who drives cheap, paid-off vehicles is staggering. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars by retirement. Underhouse yourself on purpose. Buy or rent slightly less home than you can technically afford. The pressure to maximize your housing budget is one of the most expensive pieces of conventional financial wisdom ever given. Your housing cost should ideally sit below 25% of your income. Every percentage point lower than that is investment capital you're freeing up. A house that's slightly smaller than your ego wants is one of the best financial decisions you can make. Dress clean, not expensive. There's a genuine difference between looking good and looking expensive. A clean, well-fitted wardrobe of simple basics costs almost nothing, and reads as put together to anyone paying attention. Reserve quality spending for items you use daily, and that truly last. Avoid logos, avoid trends. The fashion industry is specifically designed to create artificial obsolescence to keep you spending. Don't play that game. Cook aggressively. Restaurant spending is one of the most invisible budget destroyers in modern life because it feels like living, not spending. The average American household spends over $3,000 a year eating out. Cook at home, eat well, and treat restaurant meals as genuine social occasions, not daily defaults. The savings are enormous, and the health benefits are real. Automate investments before you see the money. This is the single most powerful tactical move in personal finance. Set up automatic transfers from your paycheck directly into your investment accounts on payday before you have any chance to make discretionary decisions. What you never see in your checking account, you genuinely will not miss. This one habit, consistently maintained, builds more wealth than any stock pick or crypto bet you'll ever make. Audit and destroy your subscriptions. Go through your bank statements right now. Find every recurring charge. Cancel everything that doesn't serve a genuine daily purpose in your life. People consistently underestimate their subscription spending by 40% or more. This is money leaving your account every month on autopilot for things you've forgotten you even have. Redesign your social media environment. Your Instagram and TikTok feeds are not neutral spaces. They are algorithmically curated galleries of consumption, designed to trigger spending impulses. Every luxury influencer you follow is a subtle, constant drain on your financial ambition. Unfollow them. Replace them with accounts that talk about financial independence, index investing, business building, and wealth psychology. Your environment shapes your decisions far more powerfully than your willpower ever will. The long game, and the people who play it here, is the uncomfortable truth at the center of everything we've discussed today. The long game is genuinely difficult to play in a culture built to make you spend right now. Every app, every advertisement, every social media platform is backed by billions of dollars of behavioral psychology, specifically engineered to make you equate spending with living, with enjoying life, with being successful. The system is not neutral. It is actively, aggressively working against your wealth-building goals. And the first step to winning is simply seeing that clearly. The people who build real wealth, the ones quietly accumulating assets while peers spend every dollar they earn, they are not geniuses. They are not lucky. They do not have secret information. They simply made a decision at some point to stop playing the visibility game and start playing the freedom game. They decided that their balance sheet matters more than their image, that their future self deserves more than their current audience does, and that decision compounds, quietly, invisibly, powerfully, just like interest. Rich is not a look. Rich is a number. It's a portfolio balance. It's passive income that exceeds your expenses. It's the specific moment when your money generates more money than your job does, and you have genuine, real choices about how you spend your days. None of that shows up in a photograph. None of that gets likes. None of that impresses anyone at a dinner party, because nobody can see it. But every single morning when you wake up knowing that your capital is deployed, growing, compounding, building quietly in the background, you will feel something that no luxury purchase in history has ever truly delivered to anyone. Genuine financial security. The knowledge that you are not one bad month away from disaster. The knowledge that you have options, that you have time, that money is not the source of your anxiety, but the foundation of your freedom. That is what the genuinely wealthy have that the visibly wealthy desperately lack. Not a better car, not a more impressive watch, not a bigger house, peace, options, the ability to say no, the ability to walk away, the ability to build a life on your own terms, not on the terms dictated by a paycheck you can't afford to lose. That is the real flex. The invisible one, the one that actually matters, the one worth building toward. So the next time you feel the pull to upgrade, to show off, to perform wealth for an audience that will scroll past your post in under 3 seconds and never think of you again, Remember what you're really choosing between: a moment of perceived status that costs you years of freedom, or a boring, invisible, powerful decision that quietly moves you toward a life most people only dream about. Look poor, build wealth, live completely free, and hey, tell me in the comments what video you want me to make next. See you later.